Our sense of self, that apparently solid, continuous me that seems to live right behind our eyes, is one of the most convincing and elaborate magic tricks we're ever going to witness. It feels so real, so permanent. We defend it, we polish it, we worry about it. But what if it's actually a kind of a brilliant illusion, constantly being created and recreated by our minds from moment to moment? In this video, we're going to peek behind the curtain a bit. We're not going to get rid of the self. Instead, we're going to do what a careful detective might do when presented with a magic show. We're going to figure out how the trick is done. Understanding the method is the first step in freeing ourselves from its hold on us. The Buddhist teaching of non-self, or anatta, is probably the most challenging and misunderstood idea in all of Buddhism. It can sound nihilistic or even self-contradictory, like claiming that you're nothing or that you don't exist. But that's not the point of it at all, and I've done a video on this. I'll leave a link to that down below in the notes. The point, for example, isn't to deny our experiences. It's to investigate them with curiosity and see how they really manifest. The Buddha never argued that you were literally nothing. He was more like a master investigator revealing the secrets to one of our deepest illusions. To see how this illusion works, we need to look at the key ingredients from which arises the feeling of this solid me, this solid continuous me, out of the chaos of experience. This is the bedrock of what we're presented with in experience. The fact is, every magic trick needs physical props of some kind. For the illusion of self, those primary props are the physical body and its reactions to the world around it. These reactions involve a constant stream of raw feelings, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neutral feelings. That is, some things we find attractive or comfortable around us, other things repel us, and much of the time we reside in a kind of indifference. This creates for us a locus, a place, where things seem to happen. This is the foundation. These physical props are just objects and feelings until the magician weaves an illusion around them. The mind's great illusionist storytellers are those parts of us that label, judge, and spin narratives, then make us feel compelled to act within those narratives, perpetuating them into the future. For example, the mind takes the raw data of, let's say, an unpleasant feeling in the chest and immediately creates a story around it with us as the protagonist. For example, I'm anxious about that meeting, or I'm having a heart attack. This is where a simple sensation, this feeling in the chest, is turned into a personal drama where something needs to be done. Or let's say there's a loud sound. In itself, this is just raw sense data. But the storyteller within us gives it a particular meaning and interpretation. Let's say my neighbor is out again with his leaf blower. And it adds on top of it a kind of opinion. This is annoying. It's ruining my attempts to meditate. In this instant, a self who is being annoyed has been magically conjured into existence. And once that's done, immediately an intention arises that I have to do something about this. I need to go yell at my neighbor for using the leaf blower when I'm trying to meditate early in the morning. So, what happens? We take the lead in our own self-made dramas. Finally, a trick needs a spotlight to direct the audience's attention. The mind's spotlight is consciousness itself, our awareness. And this spotlight of consciousness shifts its character so quickly, from sights to sounds to thoughts to physical feelings and so on, that it appears to us as a single unified thing that we consider our experience or our consciousness. This tale reinforces our feeling of a central witness, an I who's aware of body, feelings, stories, and actions. So this spotlight makes the whole show feel somehow real and personal to us. When we go to a magic show, most often we're fooled by the illusions. That's the fun of magic shows. But in real life, once we figure out how the tricks are done, we can begin to escape their illusory power over us, even while we continue to appreciate the artistry. This is what happens with the self. Seeing the process of its construction doesn't make us somehow disappear, as though learning the secret of a magic trick would somehow make it cease to exist. Instead, learning this secret frees us. The first benefit is that we learn to take these things less personally. When a painful thought or experience arises, we can see it for what it is. There's the storyteller weaving another tragedy for me. This frees us a bit from identifying with our stories so strongly. Our initial pains, let's say, that begin these stories may be very real, but the story that's wrapped around this me becomes more optional, and so do the pains and stresses associated with that story. The second benefit of our knowledge is that we gain flexibility. We begin to realize that this self that we've identified with, let's say the anxious person, the easily triggered person, the sick person, is not a solid and permanent thing. Instead, it's just a kind of habit of thinking, a story that the mind has gotten used to telling itself. When we see this as a kind of performance, we realize that we have the freedom to perform our lives differently. As we've seen, the self isn't so much a thing to be found, nor a soul to be located somewhere. Instead, it's a kind of process, an activity, a kind of brilliant illusion produced by the interaction of various components, or what are known as aggregates, in each moment. The aggregates of body, of sensory experience, of storytelling and acting, and the varieties of our awareness. Now, if you do want to take an even deeper dive into the specific ingredients of this illusion, what the Buddha called these 5 aggregates, I have a video that breaks them down one by one, and I'm going to leave a link to it on the screen in a moment. But for this video, I've got an experiment for you. For the next hour, or perhaps during your next meditation, become a detective at your own magic show. When you feel a strong emotion, see if you can gently distinguish its ingredients. What are the raw physical feelings behind the emotion? What is the story that you're telling yourself about it? How does the you arise from this interplay? The point here isn't to judge yourself, and not even really to change anything. It's simply to watch the illusion at work, and let me know in the comments what you find. If this exploration was helpful for you, a like and subscribe are always appreciated. Thanks for your practice, and be well.